Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to the channel. Sarah here. We're going to do a reading for you today for the week of October 13th to the 19th, 2025. Keep in mind, Gemini, this is just a general reading, so take only what resonates and leave out what does not. If you're interested in having a Zoom session with me, you can visit my website, lionessmoonintuitivetarot.com, or you can email me directly at lionessmoonintuitivetarot@gmail.com. All right, so as always, Gemini, feel free to delegate the energies where you see fit. If I say I'm talking about you, I could be talking about the person who you're dealing with and vice versa. Same goes to you, cross-watcher. All right, so we're going to do a horseshoe spread for you today, tapping into the energies of Gemini for the week of October 13th to the 19th. We are going to cut this deck in three, so mote it be. All right, in the past, we've got the Two of Swords in reverse. That is Moon in Libra. Just a second. All right. The Two of Swords in reverse. In the present, we've got the Eight of Cups. That is Saturn in Pisces. In the future, we've got the Ace of Swords in reverse, air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. In the hidden position is the Page of Cups in reverse. That is water energy, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The challenge here is the Lovers in reverse. That is your major arcana, Gemini's major arcana. The advice is the Six of Swords in reverse, which is Mercury in Aquarius. And the outcome is the World in reverse. Lots of reversals in this. Only one came out in the upright. The World is all the fixed energy, so Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. And the overall energy of this reading is the Ten of Wands, which is Saturn in Sagittarius. We are going to figure out how it is that all of this culminates to equal something to do with the Ten of Wands. And we will revisit that again at the end of the reading. And we'll also look at what energies are influencing that Ten of Wands. But the Ten of Wands essentially means something to do with there being a heavy burden. You may be taking on more work than you're able to do, or whatever this is that you're dealing with just happens to be a huge burden. So in the past, we've got the Two of Swords in reverse. Why is the Two of Swords in reverse here for Gemini? Why is the Two of Swords in reverse? The Two of Swords usually has something to do with a difficult decision that was finally made. We've got the Three of Cups, that is not the Three of Cups, that's the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and we've got the Hermit in reverse. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck, I am seeing the Emperor here. So I'm seeing here that there was a difficult decision, something in the past. There was a difficult decision that needed to be made. What I'm seeing here is that there's this energy of not being able to collaborate with or work well with an energy, and you had to make a final decision. And it looks like with this Ten of Swords that I'm seeing here, it had to do with making the decision to end something. But when it ended painfully. You detached from somebody here. But it looks like so this is why it ended painfully, is because, and this is why it was a difficult decision, is because there was whoever this is, was somebody who you had probably some sort of deep commitment to. And you were feeling like whoever this was is somebody who you were not working very well with this person. There may have been an energy of feeling like you had been victimized in some way by whoever this was. Or you may have just been feeling really isolated from the rest of the world while you were in this connection. But I'm seeing that there was a detachment that it was a very difficult decision, but you chose to detach. And it looks like no matter how difficult this relationship was, somebody here wanted to make it work. So one party made the decision, I'm reading it as you, wanted to make the decision, difficult decision, it looks like to end this, while the other person wanted to see it continue going on. They wanted to try and persevere through this connection. And it looks like it wasn't something that you wanted to continue on. It was almost like you were at your wit's end. You were at your wit's end. You couldn't, it was almost like you couldn't continue the way things were going, and you had to make what looks like a very difficult decision here. You may have met somebody else while you were in this position, even though there was still love here. All right. We do see Divine Feminine at the bottom of the deck. All right. So in the present, we're seeing this energy of walking away from something after making the difficult decision to bring something to an end. Why is the Eight of Cups here? Now, everybody's on a different timeline. So even though this showed up in the past and this is the present, it just means this leads to this leads to this. So everybody's on a different timeline. These both can be past. This could be present, or, take it as it resonates, right? We are seeing this Eight of Cups. Tell us the story on the Eight of Cups. So finally, I'm reading it as you, after coming to your wit's end on something because there was a lot of problems, you decided you wanted to walk away. You're walking away. We do see the Devil here, clarifying this, and we've got the Page of Cups in reverse, which is also in your hidden position here. And we've got the Empress in reverse. The King of Swords in reverse. The Four of Wands and the Eight of Swords in reverse. Okay, so that's exactly... All right, so with the Eight of Cups to the Eight of Swords in reverse, I'm seeing an energy of somebody walking away from something in order to gain freedom. There's this energy of feeling stuck here. And I was seeing for a lot of you, almost like feeling victimized or feeling completely isolated. So you may have been in a relationship with somebody who gets jealous when you try and communicate with other energies. Here is is a potential. Or you just took it upon yourself to maybe isolate. I'm just seeing that for some of you, this is isolation. And if there was no isolation, I'm just getting that whatever this situation is, felt very victimizing to you. And it looks like you were not working very well with this person to establish anything moving forward anyways. It was almost like you were hitting dead end after dead end. And it wasn't moving forward in the way that you wanted to see it move forward. So it looks like there's this energy of walking away from something, right, in order to gain some sort of freedom here. Now, I was also seeing here that in walking away from somebody, you are either connecting with somebody else before officially walking away, or you're rebounding right away to something else, is what I'm seeing here. Because I'm seeing, for some of you, whoever it is that you're moving towards after walking away from something is somebody who you've been connected to before. I'm seeing an energy of reunion here. But I'm also seeing here, Gemini, is that there's this energy of not feeling fulfilled here. Like there's some lack of fulfillment in this past connection that you're walking away from. And you're recognizing that you're not fulfilled by it. You're recognizing that there are issues, but the problem is that you're not recognizing something to do with your situation there's something in you that's just not that's never going to be fulfilled by something here. It could be the dynamic of an actual house and home situation, like freedom from your home. Some of you may have felt like a prisoner in your own home with the Hermit in reverse, trying to get away from it. So for some of you, I'm just going to say, you're at very high risk here of getting yourself caught up in another codependency where you're going to continue to feel empty here, is what I'm seeing. So, because it looks like you're connecting with somebody else right away. Can we get the situation? Yeah, it's showing up that there's another connection here right away, and that's why it's showing up. We saw the Ten of Swords, we see the Devil, and we also am seeing anger and rage. So here's an issue, okay? And I'm not seeing that that's necessarily your energy. You may be, whatever this action is in moving towards somebody else while in another connection, or while on the heels of walking away from another connection, is creating this energy of anger and rage in the person that you're walking away from, is what I'm seeing, because they're feeling like they're getting ghosted. Whoever this is, with somebody who it looks like they want to make things work with you, and you're done. There's something about the connection that even though it's showing up that it was a difficult decision, this is just not something that is going to work for me. But the unfortunate thing here is what I'm seeing is that you're going to potentially get yourself caught up in another situation where you're going to want to run again, because there's something about the dynamic that you were involved in that's going to may make a reappearance in a new connection. All right, so let's get this Ace of Swords in reverse in the future. Can we get something on this Ace of Swords in the future? We've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. And the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. The Nine of Cups. The Judgment in reverse. Yeah. Okay, so there's something, exactly what I said. I was already seeing it. I'm seeing it again. I'm seeing almost this energy of distraction. I'm trying to distract myself from having to face something about it could be conditioning. You may be conditioned to believe I'm meant to be in these types of relationships where it looks like for a lot of you getting caught up in some sort of, it's a contract, even if it's just a verbal contract. You know, it's funny because there's the song by All For One, I Swear, came on. And the part where he says, I will make you only cry those happy tears. Immediately I piped up and I was like, that's a contract. He just told her that she's only going to cry happy tears when she's around him. And so he better make sure now that she only cries happy tears. And we know that that's not going to happen. There's going to be a time where he's going to get her upset, and she's probably going to cry in a way where she's actually upset. And then he's going to have broken that verbal contract. That's what I'm seeing here, is that almost like there are contracts that we're getting ourselves caught up in that may not be necessarily realistic. I wonder sometimes if any contract is actually realistic without getting ourselves tethered to this energy of feeling like we're stuck now. I have to fulfill this contract. This is too much responsibility. But there is something about moving on to satisfaction, maybe immediate gratification here, where there's something you're not fully being accountable for here or waking up to. And it has to do with getting yourself involved in these house and home situations. For some of you, that could be the contract. It could be a lease or a mortgage that you want to be free from here. And it could be it could be that you're doing this while connected to another human. Getting yourself caught up in a mortgage or a lease may not be so bad if it's not with another human. I mean, I'm just giving you an example. That doesn't necessarily have to be the situation. But it looks like because of the fact that there's still a lack of clarity here, even showing up in the future, that there's some sort of opportunity that you could be missing out on if you get yourself caught up in another situation where you're going to start feeling stuck. Like it's showing up that whatever happened here where you wanted to escape and it was difficult, it's potentially going to happen again, okay? So let's get the situation on this Ace of Swords in reverse. Why is the Ace of Swords in reverse? And that's what it's showing up here, is that there's still love. It's unconditional love. So no matter what has gone on between you and whoever this is, it's still showing up that you still love each other. But now there's all this pain, and we've got anger showing up here because this contract was broken that you aren't even aware that you didn't even want to get into in the first place. Getting yourself into a contract that you didn't even want to get into in the first place, but you think you want to get into it when you do it. So it's just not at the forefront of your consciousness. It's like you're not awakened to it, but you're meant to awaken to this. It's showing up that you're meant to awaken to something that's unclear right now. Okay? You may be having some sort of conversation with somebody in the future about all of this, somebody who you had walked away from in the future after you have awakened from something, and maybe the two of you will be able to work something out. But I mean, let's continue the reading and we'll see what happens here. We do see the Page of Cups in reverse as the hidden position. We saw that here with the Eight of Cups. So somebody's emotional, very emotional and angry about somebody walking away here and moving into a new direction. We've got the Seven of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse, which is also in the future here. The Sun in reverse. Here's what I've got, okay? There's this energy of somebody here that you're connecting to. Somebody, what it looks like is that you walked away from one connection and moved towards something else, is what I'm seeing here. Now, it's showing up in the unseen position here. Whoever this newer energy is, just be aware that whether you're seeing this or not, some people wear very convincing masks. I know I was hoodwinked by one, and I watched other people get hoodwinked by that same mask, and it was very validating for me. But there are some people who wear very convincing masks, and I'm just letting you know that there's something here about somebody overstepping boundaries and getting themselves into this energy of, it's not just emotional manipulation. I'm seeing like almost an extremely, like I'm seeing this energy of like emotional dysregulation. The kind of emotional dysregulation that you would see in a child that cannot be soothed. That's what I'm seeing. Somebody who lacks the ability to self-soothe and then steps on boundaries here. Now, there may be jealousy. I don't see a lot of that necessarily, but what's showing up here is that because of the fact that you're unclear about something still, about what it is that you genuinely want in your relationships, you may be getting yourself caught up in an energy that you're not going to want to be involved in, even though you might get really stuck on this person. And then you're going to realize you're unhappy and you're going to want to cut this person out, is what's showing up. Exactly what happened in the past, even though it looks like you still had love for the person in the past. And you were like, you know what? I love you, but I just can't do this to myself. I mean, it looks like you're being validated here. Like, this was pretty horrible energy. You don't want to be caught up in this. You're potentially getting yourself caught up in another situation where you're going to be unhappy, is what I'm seeing here. And then you're going to want to cut whoever this is out, even though you still have feelings. It's showing up that you have feelings for this person, and they do for you as well. Then you might, and you're, because you're unclear about something about yourself, that it's showing up here, you may get yourself into a situation where you start talking to another energy while you're connected to this person, just like you did with this past person. That's what's showing up here. Like, it's almost like, what I'm seeing here is, it's almost like I don't know if this is the right way to describe it for every single one of you, but it's almost like you're looking for a rescuer. Help me get out of this situation. And it's only because you're only getting into it because you're still unclear about something, is what I'm seeing. So let's get the situation on this for Gemini. What is the situation on this for Gemini? It's showing up as today. So for somebody, it's showing up in the unseen position and today. So right now, whoever this is that you've been connecting to is showing up in this energy, whether you've seen it or not. It's showing up that you are potentially going to start searching for other energies while connected to whoever this is what's showing up here. And then it's showing up, somebody's ghosting somebody. Like I always say, feel free to delegate the energies where you see fit. I'm seeing it, I'm reading it as you, just based on how these energies are coming out. You are going to start getting fed up with this very difficult energy to deal with. You may get yourself caught up in this situation where it becomes like a committed relationship, and then you start seeing signs that, oh, I don't know if I want this anymore. And you might it's showing up that it might end up being the exact same way as it was in the past, where you get yourself caught up in another situation while you're connected with whoever this is. Okay, so now we've got, as your challenge, the Lovers in reverse. Why is the Lovers in reverse for Gemini as the challenge? So we've got the Hierophant in reverse, and we've got the 8 of Cups in reverse, and the 7 of Cups in reverse. So the challenge here has something to do with overcoming some sort of confusion here regarding your it's showing up here that you have, I'm connecting, if this doesn't resonate, please don't make it fit. I feel like I'm connecting to a Gemini here who's still not completely clear here on the fact that you may have a proclivity to wanting to rebel against commitment. That's what I'm seeing here. And what I'm seeing here is you're going to want to break this. There's going to be, it's showing up that your challenge is that there's going to be a misalignment here in this connection. It's destined because there's something about yourself that you're meant to be awakening to. So the thing is, Gemini, is that right now you're attracting energies that are not good for you. And it's because of the fact that you're not awakened to something here about like I said, you have this proclivity to wanting to rebel against whatever it is that you have been committed to here. And then you move into a new direction while in the connection or on the heels of walking away. So you're either getting yourself involved with other energies while you're in a commitment, or you are rebounding quickly after the relationship ends, and then this creates a lot of drama and problems, is what I'm seeing here. Yeah, and there's this energy too of feeling like, for some of you, you may feel like this person did me dirty in some way, or this person lied to me about who they really were, or this person is like holding me captive and they're not easy to work with, and I can't. You may have 100 reasons why you feel like you are justified in not wanting to be with this person. Spirit is saying that is you wanting to win at all costs here. There's something about how you're handling the breakup here that is showing up as not healthy. I'm just being honest. Please don't shoot the messenger. Spirit's not always telling me things that my ego doesn't necessarily want to hear, but it's for our greater good, right? We need to come to terms with this. It is showing up here that for a lot of you, I'm just going to say, you're getting yourself involved with people who are not fully honest with you about who they actually are. And then you go a period of time where you're trying to keep the peace with whoever this is. And so you're trying to make something work that you've already recognized you know isn't going to work. And then it's almost like I'm seeing like you're looking for a rescuer, somebody who's going to help you get out of the relationship, like somebody who's going to inspire you to want to get out, because you have every reason in the world. It looks like, I mean, if you're connected to the King of Swords in reverse, yeah, you don't want to be connected to that. But it looks like you're trying to keep the peace with that person, and then you walk away, and then you move to something else right away. Why is this Lovers in reverse? Yeah, you have irreconcilable differences. It's showing up that that's the challenge here. You're connecting to somebody who it's like, whose energy might feel insufferable to you, and then you're going to end it. You're meant to be learning a lesson here. That's the challenge, is that there's something about you waking up to something about yourself, because it looks like you've been trying to make something with it. I was getting that heavily. Trying to make difficult relationships work by, holding back and keeping the peace, when it looks like you're dealing with difficult energies here. So now we've got the Six of Swords in reverse as your advice. This could just be a warning. You're getting yourself back into troubled waters. We've got the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the High Priestess. There's something already. What I'm seeing here is that there's something that you're bringing to the relationship there's something that you're already aware of, okay? Whether you realize you're aware of it, or if it's just something that you're picking up on energetically and it's causing you some sort of an anxiety here. But it looks like there's an energy here of communicating with somebody, and trying to, it looks like there's some sort of strategy in trying to come back to a situation here where it looks like there's a lack of emotional availability here. And whatever this is going to leave you very, very, very heavy-hearted with the Queen of Cups in reverse. Can we get more on this? Like, there's something that Spirit is saying you may want to, with the challenge being what it is, recognize something about it has something to do with yourself and getting yourself into these situations. It may just be that you're trying to make something work with somebody who, if you got to know them for a little bit of time, you'd realize that and then just, move on. But then you might be making it a really serious relationship, and whoever this is falling in love with you too, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, so it looks like you are returning to something here where you're going to have a talk, and it looks like Spirit is trying to tell you something about maybe trying to stay in a more single energy right now, and remove whatever it is that's negative. So maybe take the time to actually get to know whoever this is and really analyze who they are. analyze their behavior, if you have to get them in the hot seat over anything, ask the questions you need to ask, really try and understand what it is that you want out of a relationship. Because I'm getting here, Gemini, that you're at very high risk of repeating something you've done in the past with somebody else, with somebody new. And who knows, this could have happened more than once, but it's showing up in the outcome here that the cycle isn't completely closed out yet. So let's take a look at why this world in reverse is here for Gemini. We've got you're going to run. The Knight of Swords is your court card, by the way. That is the runner. Gemini is the runner of the zodiac. They are the flightiest sign of the zodiac, Gemini. I'm a Gemini, by the way, so no hate. I really understand this energy more than you know. But it's showing up here that you're not awakened to something. The challenge here had something to do with awakening to something that you're not awakened to. And so we're going to get karmic justice when we don't awaken to something here. And it has to do with understanding something about yourself. Because, Gemini, there may be something that you're meant to be achieving outside of this connection, outside of any connection. That these connections are it looks like you're really held back by the previous connection, for sure. And you're potentially getting yourself caught up in a newer connection that's going to continue to hold you back. But something is going to come to light here about somebody being manipulative. That's what I'm seeing here. And then you're going to be in a position where it looks like you're going to figure out how to get out. But the problem is that when you do run, you're running to another energy, is what I'm seeing here. So it looks like you did this already, maybe more than once. I don't know if that's just the way you do it. But there's something about you potentially moving on to another energy, and just letting you know that if you are doing that, that is obviously there's going to be some sort of karma for that. Let's get the situation on this. Because, in order for the World card to be turned upright, you need to awaken to something in yourself, is what I'm seeing. You might start chasing another energy, is what I keep seeing here. And of course, feel free to reverse the roles. If this is somebody you're dealing with, please do that in order to find happiness. I believe that what you need, Gemini, to find happiness has something to do with understanding something about what it is that you want in your life while you are single. Develop yourself by yourself. And while you're doing that, you get to know who you truly are, what you really want, and what is important to you moving forward. And then you are in a position now where you can invite newer energies into your life that are going to accommodate those things. Because it looks like it's just, you're really stuck in these horrible, I'm almost getting, like I said, you're in these relationships where you really aren't getting along with whoever this is, and you're trying to keep the peace. And then eventually you're just like, I can't do this anymore, and you're just ready to run, is what I'm seeing. You are going to move, it looks like, in order to achieve your happiness, you're going to move in towards a situation where there's some sort of desire, is what I'm seeing. So just be aware. And it's not showing up, Gemini, that you would normally do something like that. It's simply because of the fact that you feel trapped. And that's I'm getting that is your solution to getting out of the trap, is to finding this another energy to help you get out. So let's take a look at the overall energy of your reading before we close out. We've got the 10 of Wands, so you're some burden here. You're burdened by being dominated and controlled and oppressed, is what I'm seeing here. You're meant to be waking up to something here after being stuck. So there's some sort of new perspective you're meant to be gaining here that's going to wake you up. but it's showing up here right now that you're at, because of the fact that you're still in this energy of trying to make something work with another energy, you're still not awakened to something in yourself, and you're at very high risk of repeating something you already did in the past. So, Gemini, that is your reading for the week of October 13th to the 19th, 2025. Thank you so much for all of your support, your likes, your shares, and your subscribes. And until I read you again, take care and bless.